She stood at the door as if she still owned it. 6 days gone. No calls, no messages, no trace. And now she smiled. That kind of smile people wear when they've already decided you don't matter. "Be grateful I even came home," she said, dragging her suitcase across the threshold. "I enjoyed my stay with my lover." Her tone was playful, almost proud. She expected me to flinch, to yell, to break. I didn't. I just looked at her, the same way I'd look at a stranger trespassing in my house. Calm, detached, already gone. She didn't notice the difference, not yet. My fingers tightened around the yellow envelope in my hand. I had rehearsed this moment too many times to count. The weight of it wasn't paper, it was proof. She took off her coat, tossed it over the couch, and laughed. "What's that? Divorce papers? You wouldn't dare!" I handed it to her without a word. Her laugh faltered. The sound of paper unfolding filled the silence between us. And then the color drained from her face. 6 days earlier, I woke up to an empty bed. The side where she slept was still warm. At first, I thought she'd gone for a run. She never did. Then I thought maybe she needed space. She always said that when she wanted to lie. By noon, her phone was off. By midnight, her sister called asking if she was with me. She wasn't. A missing persons report felt unnecessary. I knew she wasn't missing, just gone somewhere she didn't want found. It was strange how silence could scream. Every hour she didn't return felt like a confession. I went through her laptop. Old passwords still worked. She hadn't deleted everything. Arrogance always leaves fingerprints. There were photos, hotel check-ins, receipts, voice messages from a man who called her Sunshine. He spoke like someone who believed he'd won something that belonged to another. And maybe he had. For a while, I just sat there, staring at the screen. No shouting, no breaking things, just a single thought looping through my mind. "You've done this before, haven't you?" I didn't confront her. I didn't chase. I watched, listened, calculated. Her bank transactions told me enough. A private villa by the coast, 2 people, 5 nights, paid under a false name. Her messages told me the rest. The way she laughed through texts, the promises, the plans to finally be free. She didn't know freedom had a price. That night I called a friend who owed me a favor. He managed the very hotel she stayed in. He sent me the CCTV footage, her hand in his, walking like she'd never return. I watched it twice. Then I turned off the screen and sat in silence until morning. People think betrayal is loud. It isn't. It's quiet, measured. It waits until you're calm enough to see everything clearly. I spent the next days preparing. Bank accounts split, locks changed, papers signed. When she finally came home, she didn't know she was walking into her own eulogy. She tore open the yellow envelope, expecting the usual, divorce threats, angry letters, maybe a plea. She found none. Inside was a single document, printed photos, timestamps, receipts, a copy of her signed resignation letter from our joint company, one she didn't know she'd signed 3 months ago. I'd added her name to a fake investment account, her lover's account. Every transaction between them now looked like embezzlement. Her voice cracked. "What is this?" I didn't answer. She flipped through the pages faster. Her breathing turned sharp. The sound of her panic filled the room. You can't do this to me." "I didn't," I said quietly. "You did it to yourself." She sank into the couch, trembling, the same place she once laughed with him on speaker while I cooked dinner in the next room. Now the silence was mine. She stood up suddenly, clutching the papers. "We can fix this. I'll explain. "No," I said. "You'll leave." Her voice dropped. "You'd throw me out after everything?" "After everything," I repeated. She moved closer, desperate now. "It was just a mistake, a distraction. He means nothing." "Then why did you tell me to be grateful?" She froze. The arrogance drained, replaced by fear. Real fear. I stepped aside, opening the door. Her suitcase was still there, waiting, like it knew before she did. "Where will I go?" she whispered. "Wherever you've been." She stared at me like she was finally seeing who I was. The man who didn't yell. The man who didn't beg. The man who'd already buried what they had before she even confessed. When she realized the extent of it, how every step she took was already mapped, how her lover would face charges she helped create, her mouth fell open, but no sound came out. I closed the door. The silence after was pure, like the air after a storm, the kind that strips everything bare. I poured myself a drink, sat by the window, watched the rain start again. Her perfume still lingered in the air, sweet, artificial, temporary. There was no anger left, only stillness. She had taken 6 days to destroy everything. I had taken 6 months to prepare for the moment she would. It wasn't revenge, it was balance. I didn't need to see her again, didn't need to hear the apologies she'd rehearse for someone else. Some people burn their bridges. I prefer to let them walk across first and then quietly remove the ground beneath them. As the rain blurred the city lights, I whispered the only truth that mattered. She came home too late.